This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at XP Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. Another interesting day in the market. Are you surprised by the chop? Do you anticipate the market to move big in one direction every day? Well, then you don't realize that about 60% of the days in the market, especially as you get into the summer, are going to be choppy, sloppy, directionless until there what? Is a confirmation of a trend or a new trend or a continuation of a trend. And that's kind of where we're at. We're in this choppy consolidation phase with profits being taken going into the end of the quarter. It's kind of the same story every day. Some people think and expect bigger moves. That's just kind of their mentality of not being, familiar with how things really work. And so let's get into really what's going to happen coming up, what to expect, how to expect it, and what to do. So what do we got, right? Another choppy, sloppy day. You got the China talking about cutting off AI stuff from American chips. Are you surprised by this? Again, it's one of those things where ultimately, again, AI. Again, you scream it 1,000 times, it prices in. And a lot of these companies have priced in literally the best possible scenario, pricing in whatever multiples of time sales that would make your eyes explode. In sense, like if you actually bought the stock knowing what they're valued at, you wouldn't do it because you've seen it in past occurrences where it never made sense and then the stocks came back to reality. They all do at some point, right? Momentum is real, but when it gets pulled, either way, it can be ugly. So you got Micron after hours. Yeah, their revenues are down year over year. People are, I think, maybe buying it. We'll take a look at it here in a second when we get into the tech. But yeah, if you got any questions, thoughts, concerns, please reach out. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, ask for if you want link for this Discord rooms, link in the description below. Follow us on Twitter, posting what we got going on. The no stress test came out. Of course, every bank passed it. Of course, they're going to lower the hurdle to make sure the feds don't have to do anything crazy. They don't want to initiate their own pain. The reality is people are pulling money out of their savings account, out of the banking system at a rapid pace, never seen before. And there's a credit crisis that's just deepening and worsening. But shh, you won't hear about it until it's time. Remember, the news is not going to, the market makers and those in the powers that be will not feed you their playbook until it's too late. Remember, again, they're not going to tell you to buy at the lows and they're not going to tell you to sell at the highs. They're going to do the opposite all the time. All right, you want some videos, learn about trading? Here you go. Back to basics on the YouTube channel. Again, subscribe if you want. We do a few live chats every couple days, and probably do for one. But if you're newer as well, check out the tradingagent.com. I have all information on my website. Back to basic education series. Again, this page specifically starts a little more beginner stuff to advance. Let me know how it can help you. Marcus account, 5.15%, 3-month referral code. Hit me up if you want to use it or check out the links. It's well worth it. I'm telling you, slick app. Goldman's not going out of business. And plus, I keep telling people, please get your deposits under $250,000 at every bank just in case. What's the Feds going to do going in July? Looking like a rate hike. Cool story. At this point, remember, this can change in a dime very quickly. So again, I wouldn't really concern too much until we're not even in July. And remember, that is what, July 26th? That feels like years away. Bitcoin. Talked about it. Getting back up to this range. Chopping. Not much to say. Oil. Going nowhere fast. I've said this 1,000 times. If you want to get excited about oil, wait till the Feds cut. Wait till the pain price is in. Now, again, could the max pain, just be a chop? Always possible. Could the same thing be in natural gas? Does it just become a floor that just doesn't go anywhere? That's what you have to keep in mind. That's what I expect a lot of commodities. And maybe at some point they will actually get the last leg will be a throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing. So just keep that in mind. Dollar. Are you surprised we said it, got to hold this area around here? Now it's at the 20-day. Again, the volatility of the dollar doesn't concern me, and the market seems to not be concerned about it as well. Literally, for the last 6 months, nothing. Chop. Same with TLT. If you really want to see market anxiety, we need to see the TLT. We need to see the dollar start moving. Right now, they're just chop. VIX, unbelievably down in the 13s. Market makers are getting plenty of opportunities to do whatever they need to do. So I would watch it, get over the 20-day. That's the first step. Going into the end of the quarter, profit taking, probably likely coming. VIX, we talked about holding up really well. Today, nice little not nice, but defined. Oh, it's nice. So it's very friendly. No, it's holding. Again, the Vivek I think should be down in the 70s. It's just not. Someone knows something. It's just a matter of when, not if, in my opinion. SPY. We talked about it holding the 20-day. The first drop should get bought. All right. Well, today not really much of a follow through. Just kind of an indecision day. Are you surprised? I don't know. I thought it'd be down a little more, but then also I'm like, what? I don't know. It just dropped a little bit, and so the first dip will get bought. Same thing, 20-day on the Qs. First dip gets bought. The IWM was more oversold, so of course it rallies a little more, right? It holds the 200-day. All right. Well, it makes sense if it gets stuck in the 184s. DIA going nowhere fast again. Chop, stuck in this range of purgatory. Gold, I don't know why I have to say it so many times. Just leave it alone. Please leave it alone. Please leave it alone. Silver, oh, guess what? Please leave it alone. Please leave it alone. Held the 200-day. Now, again, we talked about it bouncing, but I've said this story over and over. Silver in the miners, the best time to buy it will be when the Feds cut because things and the poop has hit the fan. Double top, pulling back, 200-day, probably goes a little below it. But again, at this point, if you want to trade it, go right ahead. But it just seems like you're pissing in the wind. You're not really going to get the big move that you expect. And if anything, it could be down. Again, this point in the Fed cycle that they're talking about pulling liquidity and rate hikes, the Feds love to crush gold's credibility. It makes them look better. Silver, AG, stuck. AM, we talked about it, breaking the 200-day, just chopping around. Newmont, just going nowhere ever fast. Just bleh. Should be much higher if the miner, because again, the big large miner's not moving. Something telling you, right? PAAS, lows. Meh. All right, let's start with Taiwan Semi. We talked about there's some of these blow off tops that I don't think are going to retest. Chopping around the 20-day. Like the Gallagher, like the game, the head, just chopping. Let it do what it's got to do, player. Micron. After hours earnings, it's up at 68. Their revenue down 50. Again, it doesn't matter at this point. It's just playing this game. I would watch, see what happens when it gets into the 70 level. If it gets there, after hours, tried to get there, backed off. Again, I personally think all these names are gonna get absolutely destroyed because again, this is the thing. People don't get it. Like chips become a commodity. If someone's making a great one, everyone else is gonna copy it. And once that happens and everyone copies the other one, it's just the name of the game. And especially now if you get into a recession, rates going higher, Fed's trying to slow the economy, it's just a bad combination for semiconductors because they become a commodity, literally. They're all great. And then next thing you know, they're discounting, and then they're trying to sell, and discount, sell. Seen the cycle many times. AMD, we talk about this blow off. Are you surprised it's holding around here? No. Could it bounce? It should. NVIDIA, talked about the 20-day being important. It's not really looking so hot. Intel, intellectual property, 20-day, held, bounced, said watch the 8-day, 10-day, just chopping around. The SMH, as we've talked about, we weren't surprised when it bounced in the 150s, low 150s. Here you go. Is this a head and shoulders top? When is the right shoulder? Proceed to, that's my guess. Not much more to say. Adobe had a nice blow off top, right? Now it's just chopping. Apple trying to go after that 190, 189.90. It sounds like something you would see at Price is Right. You're at the point. You're at a fib extension, right? Keep an eye on it. How much higher? Again, people are chasing Apple in the quarter for performance. Clearly, it's the only thing holding the market up. So keep that in mind. Amazon popped on some AI stuff, and then look at every time it pops, somebody's unloading. CRM talked about the CEO dropping $100 million worth of stock. He's gaming over it. Done. 20-day. The volumes are just dying. Guggenheim stuck in the 120s. Can't go anywhere. Talked about yesterday. Holding the 50-day exactly. Got the retest. All right. Could you get back up into 123? Anything's possible. Meta starting to get to the point where it's starting to chop here at the gap fill from February of 2022. Interesting. Again, I still think this company's trash, but again, trash floats. Remember, trash floats last. Microsoft, blow off top, same thing. Again, all these names, 20-day, they're consolidating. It just is what it is. People are expecting big moves. They might not happen until when something happens that we don't know. NASDAQ stock exchange, as we talked about, the NASDAQ will not be the exchange of the future. The exchange, the stock is showing you why. I'm just telling you, people are not going to be trading tech stocks like they do now, and those volumes are going to die. And it's what happened after a tech bubble. MicroStrategy, we talked about 430s with as long as that Bitcoin holds up here, it should hold up, but be careful if Bitcoin pulls back. So MicroStrategy, I know they bought some more after the close, more Bitcoin. Netflix, yeah, a little gap up today. Decent little wick. Again, all these names, I mean, you're playing with fire unless you get in at the extremes. Net Roblox, nice bounce, and then gave it up. Tesla, speaking of extremes, we talked about left-right combo, tweezer top, whatever you want to call it. All right, you don't short it as it continues to drop. You expect the first bounce, and I'd watch the 260s. I mean, I think that's an easy area to short. Materials, they've had a nice little pop here, but are they really going to follow through? I mean, is this all they got for a China stimulus? It doesn't really look that good, right? Nucor. This one's been holding up. We talk about maybe shorting this one in the 160s. It makes sense to me. It's basically an area of resistance and overhead, resistance and volume. Keep an eye on it. Again, stops matter. I mean, you have to be able to define your risk and admit you're wrong. This characteristic of a trader is crucial. If you can't do it, you shouldn't be trading. You don't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to ride everything out. Caterpillar, we talked about it. Professional gap down. Now it's rising back on lighter volume. I'd watch the levels. VALE, global growth is great, right? No. Again, China's going to be buying it, clearly not. Arrow, telling you, copper, they like this name long term, but I feel like let it pull back. I mean, solid move from 8 to 20. I think the next move probably somewhere in the 10, 12, 15 range, and then it could do another double, triple, quadruple in a commodity bull market. CCJ got a lot of flack for saying take your profits at 31, 32. Yeah. Now it's under the 20-day. Again, we like all this stuff, all these commodities, but again, they're going to throw the baby out the bathwater. They're not going to have momentum until what? The Feds pivot. I say it every video 7 times, but I still get that question. So I'll just say it 7 more times. CF, another one, waiting for the Fed pivot, chopping. A lot of these ag names, we like them. I just don't, unless they get bought out, they're just going to probably flatline. Mosaic, another one. NTR, slapping around. Just, again, they don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. AA, again, another global growth name that's not showing global growth. Aluminum. XLF, we talked about mid-33s, pulling back, professional gap, chopping, consolidating, part of the game. You shorted JP Morgan up in the 144 area. You're liking it. Again, this is good. Market's holding up, flatlining, and it's just chopping. No momentum. Morgan Stanley, broken. All right. Hits up the 100-day again. Going nowhere fast. Goldman Sachs, every reason to bounce down here at the trend line. See what happens. If it does, cool. Could be a dead cat bounce and then flop. That's what I'd be watching. KRE, junior banks, not looking so hot. We talked about them being oversold, rallying. Because, again, you go from 66 down to 30, whatever. You're going to get a bounce. But this is a pretty light bounce. So just keep that in mind. It's not a big bounce. There's a reason why it's not bouncing big. Commercial real estate. Real estate in general. Market softening. XBI, we talked about it broke the trend. But now, and I said this last week, I said, watch what happens when it hits the 200-day cross. It might act like support because it's done that before, or it's acted like resistance. Well, guess what? It happens again. So just keep an eye on it. Again, it's probably it could have bounce or chop and go flop nowhere. I mean, if you're short it and you got it from the highs, cool. If not, just be patient. TAN, solar. Again, think oil and gas. Prices going, lower, not going to help. Solar, we talked about subsidies. We talked about ENPH. This is a thing is, the 50 days key. And now it gets back down here. It's chopping. Well, if the market's chopping, it might not drop. Sedge, very clear about this one. If you short it up here in this area, looking good. Talked about breaking the trend line. Could bounce back as a counter rally trap, right? Because it drops pretty quickly. 310 down to 235 or whatever, 315. Pretty quick move, right? We all agree? Got it. Now what? I would look at it like the fact that, all right, well, watch it. What happens when it probably gets up into this range in the 260s. Maybe it needs to catch up to the 20-day. Again, in my opinion, I think you're going to, at this point, force trade it. I would be looking for some indecision days before I even think about shorting it. First Solar, we talked about this being a total farce piece of crap. It literally got me banned from stock twits. It seems like people don't reported me multiple times, so I don't really post there anymore. Whatever. Professional gap? No. Novice gap. We talked about this. Game over. Now it's back down here. Of course, it goes from 230 down to 180. It's going to chop if the market's holding up. Let's end it with oil and the gas. You like the gas. Oil, chopping, nothing. UNG, nothing. I mean, again, all these names, again, love. One day we will sing the praises from the top of the pupils, and we will shout unlimitlessly forever to buy commodities. But we're just not there yet. EQT or XOP, again, same kind of things. Didn't stuck down here in the one teens. And just, I don't know, a lot of these names, we just like to look at them just to confirmation, see if anything's going on. And clearly there's nothing going on. ExxonMobil, we talked about shorting up here. Now it's just bouncing around, chopping. Looks like it's just biding time before what? Failure. PXD, again, chopping at the lows. A whole lot of nothing. EQT said, watch what happens when it gets up in the 40s. Can it continue? Now, I know it's over a little zone, right? But, I mean, I guess you could actually, man, this is why VAP zones are so freaking powerful, man. Look at that. Like, draw it to the very top of it. I mean, somewhere in this range. I imagine it's probably going to struggle to get over. And we'll end it on the flex LNG. You got to flex, y'all. My alarm almost went off today. But again, downside target area. Again, if the market pulls back, I mean, do we really want to buy this? And now I know they got a great dividend yield. We know Congress is buying some. Again, I think long term we'll be a massive exporter of this stuff. But in my opinion, again, if you've gotten this far in the video, you know, like the key is here to be patient. If you got shorts, be patient. If you got longs, be careful. Raise your stops. Really that simple. If you have to day trade every day, guess what? You're going to start thinking that every day is the day for the big move. And the reality is, clearly, if you've been waiting, you know how it is. It's not. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to happen probably when everyone least expects it, or it's going to happen on some sort of news, or it's going to happen on something that comes out of nowhere. And if that happens and you're not protected, you're not being smart about things, you're being greedy, you're not setting your stops, well, remember.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.